Hello, everyone, again. So, moving on with our Masters of Photography, our next item is white balance and color. Something to realize about your camera is it doesn't understand or know what white is. It makes its best guess. It also makes its best guess depending on chip manufacturer, filters applied, and internal camera processing, what all the other colors are. This is why some businesses sell color cards in addition to gray cards. So in photography, just like art, your color opposition and complementary versus conflicting colors is important. And to demonstrate this, we'll flip over to a color wheel. So here we have our color wheel. And like anything else, complementary colors generally work best for a pleasing and calmer image. Where if you have highly contrast colors, you're going to have a lot more contention. Now, sometimes you want those contrast colors to provide additional interest in your images. And some of that actually is very beneficial. One of the probably better examples of contrasting colors that works is going to be when you're shooting fall foliage and you have that nice bright blue sky behind it. And that gives you that nice contrast between the yellows, oranges, and reds of the fall foliage and that blue sky, and hopefully it's a vivid blue sky, really makes those colors pop. And there are, of course, varieties of those contrasting colors. And those tend to be the ones opposite of each other on the color wheel. So with that in mind, you can apply color to essentially lie about your photo and present the color that you want to present. A lot of times you can do this with a flash using gels to make an image warmer or make it cooler. You can also do this a bit in post-processing. So, if you buy an off-camera flash, I do recommend that you pick up a gel set and play with those gels and practice with them and see how using a blue gel or an yellow or orange gel impacts your photo. Now, I can tell you that using a warming gel tends to be the ones that I see used the most in light. Now, with some of the new LED light that's out there, you can actually don't need the gel. You can actually produce the temperature light that you want. And as so far, everything that I've talked about is for both digital and film. Now, there is the white balance adjustment on digital cameras. As far as I know, you will not find a white balance adjustment on a film camera because the white balance is controlled by the film stock itself. So there's where you probably need to, some film stocks are warmer, some are cooler. You're going to want to do a little bit of research if you're shooting film to know how the color balance or white balance of that film is. And it should be consistent from each roll. And you'll find plenty of information about that on the internet. So keep that in mind. And I will tell you, this is probably my weakest area in photography. I personally tend to like to shoot black and white, and that's become even more so now. Having retinal detachment and damage to the macula, I can tell you that the center of my vision typically right off the bat does not see color. Everything's various shades of gray. Now, on the around the macula, the part of the retina that has less damage does see color. And if I look at an object and look slightly off of that object and then look back at that object, my brain starts to fill in the color on the object. Sometimes, though, I have to do that a few times, and my brain does eventually compensate, and I see the person or plant or whatever it is. I will begin to pick up colors. Now, yeah, oddly enough, this appears to also be somewhat frequency based. I have much more significant problem with OLED televisions. My computer monitors, I seem to have far less of an issue, and I don't seem to have an issue so much with real life objects. You know, when I look at a bottle label that has multiple colors on it, I generally see those colors just fine. So that's a personal experience for me. But because of this issue, I tend to prefer shooting in black and white. So, you know, this is one area I would highly recommend you explore other resources regarding white balance and color, and you know, refer to other materials. But anyway, just wanted to throw that out there, and you know, this was probably not the most informative of my videos, but I don't have an off-camera flash, and I don't have the gels to practice with. But for me, it's not that big of a deal because I shoot in black and white almost exclusively. So anyway, That's all for today. I hope you do find some value out of this video. If you did, please press the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Have a great week.